Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sim, and thank you all so much for all the love and support. Hope you all are doing great. Today, we'll be talking something very important, and it's about colored people who were on a cruise ship passing, like they were cruise ship passengers, they were stranded in Africa after missing all boarding time, and they actually came out to talk and all that, and they were all acting like victims and the rest of it. And a lot of people are saying, why did you all not, obey the rules? There is always a time to board and all that. So wherever you went to, why did you not finish there on time and make sure you get back to your cruise ship on time to make sure that you are not left behind? Some people are saying, probably they were stuck in a place like they said, in Africa, right? Where they have different, probably communication, whatever, or maybe there were no internet. I don't know what the message the person was trying to pass across. But it sounds like that is kind of a little bit shallow-minded talk, because they actually think that Africa is a country, and they think in Africa people don't speak English, and in Africa people also do not have gadgets or have means of communication and all that. And that really, it's kind of weird, somebody in 2024 saying something like that. So I am saying that I do not think that I have any excuse to give for them not to be at the cruise ship. You know, why would you go there, get there late, and now you are making it look like people left you in Africa? Let's get into this video.
After what we've witnessed, we truly believe that, although there's a set of rules or policies that the ship they have followed, they follow those rules too rigidly. I believe that they really forgot that they are people working in the hospitality industry, and that really the safety is and the well-being of their customers should be their first priority, and that should be placed first. We believe there was a basic duty of care that they had forgotten about, so it does concern us. After what we've witnessed, we truly believe that.
You truly believe that the rules didn't apply to you. Yeah, basically. Because your whole interview is giving, we're the victims, when you're really not the victims. Because there are rules that you have to follow. One of those rules being, get your ass back to the ship on time, or they will leave you. Because they are under no obligation to wait for you unless you are on a cruise-sponsored excursion. And the crazy thing is that you guys weren't like 5 or 10 minutes late. You were an hour late. So the ship was supposed to wait on you for an hour? What about the rest of the guests that got back on time? What if the ship would wait on everybody that was late? You do know that the ship pays port fees, and they're only allowed to be there a certain amount of time. So yes, they have to leave. Not to mention they're on a schedule. They got to get to the next place. So it's hard to feel sorry for you when you didn't follow the rules. You can't circumvent the rules and then play victim. That's not how that works. Because your whole demeanor is like, we didn't do anything wrong. The ship should be more courteous. The ship should care about the customers more. The ship does care about the customers. They care about the other 1,500 that made it back to the ship on time. They care about the other 1,500 or so that followed the rules. At the end of the day, you didn't follow the rules. If you follow me, first-time cruisers, even my seasoned cruisers, I have told you numerous times, the ship will leave you. Let me say it again. The ship will leave you. It's not that they don't care. They're on a schedule. Okay? So if the ship tells you to be back at 4:30, I would suggest you be back at 3:30, because you have to think about traffic, construction. If you're in a tourist area, there are tons of shuttle buses. There are tons of people walking around, Ubers, taxis, all kind of stuff. Not to mention the regular traffic from the people that actually live there. So traffic is a big thing. At the end of the day, follow the rules. Get back to the ship on time. And don't play victim when you break the rules. It's sad that it happened, but it happens. And again, just in case you didn't hear me, the ship will leave you. So set your watch according to the cruise time, not the land time, and get your butt back to the ship on time. Thank you.
Me, they follow those rules too rigidly.
So you mean to tell me y'all got on this cruise ship and lost track of time and got left? One thing about us, if we don't have anything else, I'm talking about society. If we don't have anything else, we sure got the damn audacity to think that stuff revolves around us. I'm sure before y'all went on that cruise, because I went on a cruise before, they go through all the rules and guidelines of what you need to do. And you think because you're you, all that's supposed to change when something happens to you. Y'all should have got y'all ugly ass on that damn boat.
They follow those rules too rigidly.
Okay, so I'm sure everyone has seen the clips on TikTok by now about the 8 passengers who were on this cruise ship. They were somewhere off the coast of Africa. They took an unsanctioned excursion that got them back to the ship late, and they ended up being stranded. So I'm going to speak to you on the perspective of someone. I've never worked on a cruise ship before, but I have worked since maybe 16, 17 years old. I've worked in hospitality for hotels. I've worked a couple of restaurants. I've worked at a couple of fast food places. So I'm hospitality now, and I'm going to tell you who these people are. This group of 8 people, I'm going to tell you who they are. They're the person who, when they book the reservation for a hotel, they're told at the time that the period of time that they are booking is very busy. So a lot of the accommodations that can usually happen will not happen. At the moment, I work for a really tiny hotel, have less than 100 rooms. And on the weekends, which are our busiest times, we cater to a lot of groups. So we sell out during the weekends, mostly. We sell out, and we don't have a lot of turnaround time. So a lot of the amenities that a lot of hotels give, we can't give. Like, we can't give late checkouts. We can't do early check-ins because there's like 99 rooms, and big group has a majority of those rooms. We can't do it. These are the same people who will make a reservation, understand that these days are blocked, but will still come into the hotel, ask to extend. We can't extend you. These rooms are sold out already. They'll ask for an early check-in. We cannot give you an early check-in. Check-in is at, let's call it 3 o'clock. Can I have a late checkout? No, we can't have a late checkout. We were sold out last night. We're sold out tonight. We have to do a quick turnaround. We can't extend a late checkout. And they will go balls to the wall to complain after this has been told to them. That's who those people are. Those are the people who, they have a reservation. They made a reservation at 9 o'clock, but they show up at 7:30, assuming that they could be squeezed in. That has happened as well. You're at a restaurant. It's a very popular restaurant. Everyone comes in for their reservation because it took them months to get the reservation, and you walked in at 7:30 saying, we're going to sit at the bar. Our reservation isn't until 9, but we'll just take whatever table comes up when it's free. No, you'll take the table that you get at 9 o'clock because your reservation is at 9. We're not going to seat you ahead of people with reservations. This is those people where they know that the rules only apply to them when the rules can be broken for them. That's those type of people. So I am here to stand in solidarity with the cruise line because, yeah, do what you're supposed to do. Do what you're supposed to do.
They follow those rules too rigidly. I believe that.
You know, this is giving privilege. This is giving lack of responsibility. This is giving misplaced anger. Okay, so this couple booked a 21-day cruise with Norwegian Cruise Line. For one of the destinations, they decided to book a private tour, and their private tour returned them back late, and the ship was gone. And they, of course, were inconvenienced with having to catch up with the cruise line by booking some flights and traveling for a couple of days to catch up to the cruise. And now that they've caught up, they're like, I don't know if we want to join. Like, really? Like, why are you upset with the cruise line? Why are we saying that, oh, they follow the rules too rigidly? No, they did exactly what they were supposed to do. They set an expectation, you missed it, and now you're upset. Like, do better. Why should hundreds of other people, or maybe even thousands of other people, be inconvenienced because you messed up? Because you missed the call? No. Norwegian, thank you for all that you do. Thank you for following the rules. And people, do better.
After what we've witnessed, we truly believe that.
Are those people for real? They thought the rules didn't apply to them? Okay, so story time. So I was on a cruise last year to Europe, and I'm one of those people who my excursions are going to be booked through the cruise line because I need to make sure that they are going to wait for me and I'm not going to be stuck or stranded in a foreign country. And you know, sometimes when you're on a cruise, you get back from the tour and they drop you like in a city. But they will tell you after you finish the tour that you need to get back on a tender to get to the boat. If the last tender is at 4 o'clock, I am on the 2 p.m. tender. I don't even want to be on the last one. My trip to Europe last year, we were actually on a tour, and the tour was an hour away. And literally, when we were pulling into the parking lot, our bus was one of the last buses pulling in. But we were fine because it's a ship tour, so they're gonna have to wait for us. Anywho, the story time I have to give you is while we were on this tour, at some point we realized that something was amiss because we had gotten back onto the ship and the ship was supposed to leave at 6 o'clock. You always know when the ship is leaving because there's a whole heap of music and fanfare and drama. 6 o'clock, no music, fanfare and drama. 6:15, no music. 6:30. But we noticed that over the loudspeaker, they keep asking for the same man over and over and over again. For, I kid you not, for almost 2 hours, they were paging this person to report to somewhere on the ship. The person didn't report somewhere on the ship. So I believe that that person perhaps never got back onto the ship because when you're leaving the ship, they scan your card. They know everybody that comes off. They scan you when you're coming back in. They know everybody who is back. This person apparently didn't come back. So I'm like, and the ship did not leave that port for almost 90 minutes. So what I'm saying is, I have been on a ship that has left late because it was trying to locate somebody. Okay? Now, another example is somebody went missing as well because one morning we were at breakfast and a young lady was talking to us and saying that, well, I think we were in Greece. And they were, you know, when your tour bus is taking you around and you can hop on and off to go take pictures or whatever. Apparently, this gentleman left all his belongings in the bus. Went and did the tours and everything else. I was eating dinner, so I have like some beans stuck in my teeth. Went and did what he needed to do, and when it was time for the bus to go, homeboy wasn't on the bus. His stuff was there, but he wasn't there. The bus waited for him for quite some time. I don't know if they tried calling him. I don't know if he had WhatsApp. I don't know. All I know is that the following morning when I'm eating breakfast and being all nosy in the people's business, because the ladies allowed us to sit at their table because it was two of them eating. My girlfriend and I were wandering around trying to find an empty table, and they said, oh, ladies, come and sit down. So we sat down to get all of the gossip and the sus, and realized that apparently this bus came back and this gentleman wasn't on the bus. So I can tell you, on my last European jaunt, at least 2 people went MIA. Don't know if they were ever found. I don't know what the deal is. All I know is 2 people went MIA. Yeah.
Although there's a set of rules or policies that the ship may have.
Okay, so follow the rules. Just follow the rules. It's really not that hard. If you are agreeing to go on a cruise ship, as someone who works on a cruise ship, as someone who works as a 3-stripe officer on a cruise ship, you have to follow the rules. A lot of people don't realize that when you go on a cruise ship vacation, there's a lot of documentation processes that go on behind the scenes. It's not for the guests, it's all drinking and partying and enjoying yourself on vacation, which is the point, right? You come onto a cruise ship to enjoy yourself and to relax and to go on vacation and to see lots of incredible places. But there's so much paperwork and documentation happening behind the scenes because you are literally going from country to country. There's a lot that goes into that. So if the ship says that they have to leave at a certain time, that is because the ship is only granted to be in that port of call from a certain time to a certain time. They have to leave after that time. Otherwise, they can get fined extreme amounts of money from that local government and from those local port authorities for going out of bounds. So my recommendation is you follow the rules. And if you do want to book a shore excursion, book it through the cruise line, because if you book it through the cruise line, they become responsible for you because it's an offering that the cruise line is providing for its guests. So it's kind of like a way to get insurance on oneself as you go throughout these different ports of call. Book it through the cruise line. They will not leave you behind because they are responsible, because it is an excursion that the ship and that the cruise line and the company provided. But if you do book a private excursion, you do so understanding the fact that the company is not responsible for you in that capacity. If you don't arrive at the scheduled time of departure, you are left behind, and you will then be responsible for getting to the next port of call, or whichever next port of call that you can get to. And you're held completely financially responsible for that, and the ship will not pay for any of it. And they will probably try to help you get there, but you're financially and fiscally responsible for it entirely. And it seemed like these two friends at the beginning of the video were in Africa when all of this happened. Africa has a much less developed infrastructure for traveling and for the cruising industry. So I'm sure it was very difficult for them to get to their next port of call to be able to meet the ship. And I'm sure that was very scary. And being in a part of the world in which you can't communicate properly and kind of being left up to one's own devices is very scary. I completely understand that. So they should have followed the rules and planned accordingly. That's it.
So this is all I got from the stitches. And the person saying coming from Africa where they have different whatever. Like it means people we're in Africa. Let's even start from that. I don't know why they keep saying Africa, because I think it's a country or something. Like we don't speak in English in Africa or something, or there are no devices to communicate or to connect to people in Africa or something. I mean, I don't get that part though, but why did they not report there on time? I mean, they think because they went to Africa for that reason, they are going to probably while away time. See, I don't know how people do some certain things. Some people feel like some rules are not for them, or they are not supposed to obey or follow some rules. It's just like flying, People know that your flight is for 8 o'clock and you're supposed to be at the airport, highest 6 something, max 7 o'clock, you're already at the airport, right? And when you get to the airport and if they close the gate, there is no how you are going to fly. So why did they, why did they not get to where they are, where they are supposed to connect with the ship cruise and to wherever they are going to? Why did they have to be where they went? I don't know where they went to, I don't know how to explain this. For every cruise ship, you have a particular hours that you were supposed to spend outside the cruise for just a period of time, then return back. Why did they not report there when they were supposed to? And now they are making it look like they are the victims when they are not the victims. I do not see anything how they even include. If I were them, I would have let them there. And however they connect back to the ship is their problem, because some people think some rules are supposed to be obeyed, Some people think, because it's them and all that, they are supposed to do some certain things and get away with it. But there are some things you cannot get away with it. It's just I don't know why they are even making it look like it's a big deal. It is not a big deal, because if you were to be airport, or you are going to somewhere by bus or something, you are traveling, or train or metro or something. I mean, you are supposed to be there at, like, before your time of departure. And if this thing leaves you behind, I mean, are you supposed to start, like, asking them why did they leave you behind? I mean, they have almost how many passengers? Probably more than 5,000 passengers and all with that. And so they would have, like, leave everybody all standing up just because, I mean, you all decided not to abide by the rules. I mean, some people really should be very reasonable and, I mean, act smart some certain times. Everything is not all about, like, it's not all about talking or trying to make, like, I don't know, but, like, just be wherever you are supposed to be on time. And if they had been there on time, trust me, all this problem would not have been, like, nobody would be talking about all this. So make sure you are where you are supposed to be at the right time, right? And rules, don't say because the rules might not be applied to you because you're a colored person, applies to every other person. See you all in my next video. Bye for now.